Welcome, Christian Warriors. I got a threat intelligence briefing for those churches that have federal law enforcement going to their church. There are some important developments that we brought to you probably 3-4 days ago, but things have been accelerating on the threat towards federal law enforcement. And if they go to your church, you have to start taking some extra security precautions to ensure their safety and the safety of the rest of your congregation. Now, if you're new to Christian Warrior, we talk about threats to churches, to Christian churches in America and abroad. And we talk, most importantly, about what you can do to better protect your church, your family, and yourself if you're a Christian and live within godly values. And we always talk about the Bible and how it relates to what we're talking about for this day. So first, let's talk about some of the new information. We let you know that cartels had released a bounty structure against federal agents, specifically ICE, where it was like $2,000 if you dox them, $5,000 if you kidnap them and hurt them. It was another $50,000 if you killed a high-ranking ICE official. Now, the Wright Report over on Substack, it's a podcast done by former CIA officer Bryan Wright. He did a really good job of compiling some more information about this type of an incident. And he added that Cynthia Gonzalez, who was a politician out of LA, actually got on and did a video calling for gangs like the 18th Street Gang and others to come out and start attacking ICE.
Not for nothing, but I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you.
So now we're seeing politicians from the left now stoking the fire for cartels and gangs. And we know that the cartels are now working with some of the Antifa and other leftists that are starting some of these bigger problems. And so what that means is that if you have a congregation that has federal law enforcement, we're going to want you to take some extra precautions. Now, what we know right now, some of the credible information that is out there, because we should always be knowledgeable with solid information we can verify. We know that that cartel bounty chatter is credible and is public. Now, the reported bounty tiers vary and amounts should be treated as reported claims. Now, when we talk about what you should do to protect your church, I do want to mention that we've had 2 incidents where men climbed on nearby roofs and fired shots and killed people. The first was obviously Charlie Kirk assassination, and the second was the Houston ICE facility where the man was trying to target ICE, but actually ended up killing illegal immigrants. And then, of course, we have that public figure, Cynthia Gonzalez, who was cited by the Wright Report as encouraging gangs to go out and resist ICE, a sitting politician, encouraging gangs to attack federal agents. Let that sink in. We can't rely on law enforcement to protect our churches. That is going to be up to you. Nobody is coming to help you. If you're new to the channel, I'm a former 30-year career law enforcement officer with 20 years on SWAT, working in a narcotics unit. I was California's Narcotics Officer of the Year. I can tell you that we cannot protect you. So if you have federal law enforcement officers attending your church, there are some things that we want you to do. First and foremost, you need to start looking for vehicles that are loitering near the church at arrival and dismissal times. And this includes people taking repeated slow passes. You want to look for people that are filming or photographing cars, license plates, or building entry points. Now, here's an important one. This is a tactic that is becoming more and more popular. And that's people going onto rooftops, balconies, or other elevated positions near your church, especially right before, during, or immediately after your services. You also want to monitor online posts or messages that single out named individuals. And I'll give you an example. We have somebody that assaulted one of our church members just out of the blue. He's just a crazy man. He's probably watching right now because I know he's now monitoring my channels like I monitor his. He came on a church property and started assaulting somebody out of the blue for no reason. They don't know each other. He doesn't go to our church. He was just cutting through and decided to assault one of our people. Well, we monitor his social media, and in his social media, he's becoming more and more aggressive towards our church. And so we know that we need to keep an eye out for him, and we've been passing that information on to our security team. You're going to have to do the same thing. Look at people in your area that are doxing ICE. They're really getting into it if you have those people going to your church, and start looking at what they're posting. All right, so something to keep in mind. If you're one of the people that wants to collect on a bounty, you are going to start surveilling the ICE agents, which we know they're already doing through apps and other programs to keep track of where ICE is going. There are two places that they know they can get them: their house and church. If an ICE agent knows that his house is compromised, he's going to go take his family and go move somewhere else. But ICE agents, like if you're in Chicago, if your church is in Chicago, LA, Portland, one of these high areas, Memphis, these ICE agents are going to go to church on a Sunday. And if they go to church, then your church could become a target. We want these people to come to church. We don't want them to get turned away. We just want you, the security team, to work a lot harder to protect them. So first things first, these are the things, the recommended actions that we want you to take. Number one, I want you to immediately review all your public communications and take down any posts that reveal schedules, parking maps, volunteer names, or policies that advertise security weaknesses. I'll give you an example. The LDS Church, you guys still have a memo on your website that talks about, from 2019, so it's been there for 6 years, that says basically you have no security and that you don't want any deadly weapons in the church, and the only people that can carry a gun on church property is law enforcement. It's still there after the attack on your church and after I've been blasting you guys nonstop. And my videos have been viewed 2.5 million times this month. So 2.5 million people seeing that you don't do anything about your own security. Get that stuff off the internet. You're going to have to monitor nearby roofs. How the best way to do it, you could obviously just sit there and look and see. You can put somebody on your roof to look at those other roofs. But the best way, to be honest, is to have a qualified UAS operator or drone operator pop up a drone, and you can clear all those rooftops super quick, and you can monitor them during the times people are coming in and coming out, and during any transition times in between. You're going to have to do that because that is the new threat that we have to worry about. I have information on drone programs over at ChristianWarriorTraining.com. It's all free to you. You're going to have trained safety volunteers on the exterior in the parking lot, overwatching your services during transitions in at least 10 minutes. Really, it should be 30 minutes after your dismissal. You want to teach them how to observe and how to look for suspicious vehicles. You want to train them to grab license plates and how to quietly coordinate with your safety team inside. If you have federal law enforcement attending your church and you know who they are, I would recommend quietly and discreetly contacting them and telling them that you want to take care of them and if there's anything that you can do for them. You just want to coordinate with them and let them know that you're looking out for them. If they want something, they'll let you know. You can tell them the plans that you have in place to protect them while they are there. I'm sure it'll make them feel good. You do want to report to your congregation. And you want to be calm and brief and focus on watchfulness. You want to say, look, we're increasing our awareness and our training. Extra volunteers around arrival and dismissal. If you see something concerning, please locate a safety team member. That's it. Just let them know that everybody's worried about what's going on in the world today. That is not really going to scare them or concern them in any way. It's going to make them feel better because you're actually taking accountability for it. Now, look, I always like talking about the biblical perspective, and I want to return to Romans 13, verses 1 through 5. This is my favorite part of the Bible as a police officer because it helped me understand my job, my role that was set forth by the Lord. Now, it gives an important framework for understanding civil authority and lawful order. Verse 4 affirms the governing authorities are instituted by God and that they bear the sword as a means to restrain wrongdoing. We honor God by supporting officers who serve lawfully and by protecting the flock. Vigilance isn't fear, it's stewardship. All right, if you don't have any federal law enforcement, you're positive none are going there, then this probably doesn't concern you. But a lot of churches do have federal law enforcement going to their church, and we want you to just take some extra security measures to ensure their safety and your church's safety. If you're a federal law enforcement officer, we do have a lot of you guys following us here at Christian Warrior Training. Thank you for doing the hard job that you're doing. We love you. We thank you. If it wasn't for you, our country would be a mess right now. And if there's anything that we can do, please let us know. I want you to pray for our law enforcement. They have been demonized over the last good 11 years, and it's made it untenable to be a police officer. I'm one of the many that left because of what was going on, and it's hard to replace the people that are leaving. I want to pray for our law enforcement. I want to pray that more good people in America decide to turn to law enforcement, become a law enforcement officer to protect our country. I also want you to remember your ABCs. Always be caring.